Welcome to Tom Talks Gaming, where I talk about the games I am playing, the experiences I've had, and some of the things I've learned along the way. So let's talk games. Here we go. The game I want to talk about today is Star Trek Fleet Command. Okay. Now, one of the most important aspects of this game are officers. Okay. As a leader of one of the larger alliances, um, shout out to Evil and all my friends there. I constantly get questions about, you know, uh, which officers should I use, Tom? Which officer's good, Tom? You know, who should I use? Who should I use? So let's talk about it. Okay, let me pull up um, my Mayflower. Okay, and the assigned officers that I have. Okay, so I have Kirk as captain, Sulu and Uhura on each side. I was using this team to hunt swarms just recently. Okay, the reason I have it like this is because morale, uh, when it's activated, it gives a increase to your shield deflection, armor piercing, and dodge by a certain percentage. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I believe it's like 18%. So it's an attack based boost. Okay. And then Uhura, when morale is activated, it increases the total damage of your energy weapons by 30%. And Uhura increases the accuracy of the ship she's on by 50%. Okay. Reason this is good is because on an explorer, you accuracy is the most prevalent of the damage modifiers on the explorer. So when fighting interceptors, who their strength for defense is dodge. Okay, so you want to increase your accuracy to decrease their damage mitigation. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, I have a battle log that I can pull up. Unknown alien. Okay, unknown alien is an interceptor, and you can see that the green arrow is pointing up, and the red arrow is pointing down on their ship. This indicates that my explorer has the damage modifier of accuracy to mitigate their dodge. Okay, so accuracy 3,763. You scroll down to dodge 3,600, and this affects the damage mitigation. Okay, mitigation. So I hit the alien for 5,918 damage, and and the unknown alien mitigated 2,895. So I was able to do more than 50% of my damage was able to get through to its shields and hull. Okay, so that's what you kind of want to focus on when you're fighting um, um, other enemies. You want to think about who you're fighting and which officers you have that can increase the damage or increase your mitigation so that um, the hostile that you're fighting um, can't get through your mitigation and damage your shield that much. Okay, so you want to worry about which ship you're using and who you're fighting. Okay, another example of this that I wanted to talk about is different weapons. Okay, the Mayflower and the Kamari have. The Mayflower has all energy weapons. Okay, so when Sulu activates his skill when morale pops, he boosts 30% of all energy weapons. The Mayflower has 3 energy weapons. Okay, and its last weapon charges 1 round. Okay, so charge time 2, and shoots 2 times during the second round, and then charges again. Okay. With the Kumari, it has 2 energy weapons, and a big kinetic weapon. So the team that I usually put on my Kumari, let me pull up another battle log where I use my Kumari. Okay. Now I have here, this is the end of my run hunting traders, try to decrease my faction. But we'll talk about factions in another video. But more importantly, I wanted to pull this this fight up in particular, not this one, but the next one. Okay, so I have Gorkon, who his captain's ability 30% bonus to critical chance for the first 2 rounds. Okay, so the Kumari has a base critical chance of 12%, so 30% increase to that is a significant amount, and the critical damage base of it is 161%. So normal damage is 100%, so a 61% increase when you hit a critical hit. Okay, and that's just with that skill. Not that one. Okay, now his second skill has a 75% chance to cause hull breach for 3 rounds when you hit a critical hit. Okay, and what hull breach does in the back passively that you can't see in the battle log is it increases your critical damage by approximately 75%. So when he crits after the hull breach is activated, the damage, doubles. Okay, so that's why he's good on a ship that has a kinetic weapon that it can, with Kurla, has a kinetic weapon, increases the critical damage even more so. But he's good overall on any ship because causing hull breach and hitting with critical hits, causes the damage to amplify. So let's scroll down a little bit, see if we activate hull breach. So here we go. The second weapon causes a hull breach, 75% chance. So let's see if there's another critical hit. And there's not in this fight. Let's see if we can find another one. Scroll down. This is, yeah. So here we go. Let's see if I can show. All right. So here's a critical with the big kinetic weapon. Okay. So this is where Kurla really shines, is with this kinetic weapon at the end of Kumari. Increases that critical hit damage for the kinetic weapon. Okay. And it caused the hull breach. So after the hull breach happens, any crit that happens afterwards, and I can't really show, but that's the premise of that team setup is you have Astabur and Kurla increasing the synergy of Gorkon to increase the critical hit chances, to hit with critical hits and kill as quickly as possible. Okay, so I don't take as much damage. And that's what this team's set up. Okay, when you're fighting armadas and bigger targets that you know that the battles are going to last much longer, you want to set up your team so that you can take as little damage as possible. Okay, and one team setup that I have that works really well is Spock, Bones, and Kirk. The reason this works extremely well is to start off, as long as the ship has morale, Kirk boosts the officers of the ship by 70% of their stats. And what this means is it affects the crew stats right here. These bonuses. That's what it affects. Okay? It affects these numbers here. Okay, so 30% boost of these numbers. Okay, so it sounds like a lot, 70% boost, but, it just increases you know, the attack rating, the defense rating, and the health rating. So it's not exactly the biggest boost, but it works well with these three because of Spock. When the ship has morale, Spock restores the shield health by amount equal to 100% of the defense of the officers of the ship. So I have 1827 defense, and he adds to my shield that much. And with 70% more defense there, and then with bones, every time the ship gets hit, he increases the defense by 20%. Okay, so that's why this team works well, is because they synergize together. Okay, so you could break up the synergy bonus and find teams that work well together. Like, for example, Mara. She works really well with Gorkon because even though that they don't have synergy bonuses together and they're not in the same team per se, she works well with his hull breach because when he causes hull breach, she decreases the enemy's dodge by 25% each round that hull breach is activated. So, back to what I was saying, dodge is the mitigation modifier for interceptors. Okay, so when fighting interceptors, Mara is good with Gorkon to do more damage. Gorkon is all about ending the fight quickly with his crit chance. Okay. Now, I wanted to talk about, press the wrong button. I wanted to talk about a more beginner team that I recommend to all my newer players in my alliance. Okay, and that is Cadet Uhura. Actually, let me go to my ship so I can place them on so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is a team that I used a lot in my beginner play, 12, 13, 14, 15. Even when I got my North Star, this was a good team. And so this is what I used, okay? And the reason this works well is because Cadet Uhura's captain ability is Cadet Uhura decreases the weapon damage of the opponent's ship by 10%. And that's all their weapons. That's, that's after the damage modifiers. That's after the, before the defense modifiers. She decreases the opponent's ship by 10%, and that's extremely powerful. And with Cadet Uhura increasing your shield deflection, armor, and dodge, whatever ship that you're using, whatever the damage mitigation modifier that your ship is using, it increases it by another 15%. And with Kirk, increasing your weapon damage, you hit both sides of the fence, defense and offense, increasing all your weapons by 15%. Okay, so this is the team that I used a lot. I see a lot of people using Cadet McCoy to increase the effectiveness of a captain maneuverability, which is the opponent's ship decreased by 10%. That works well too. But I would use this team. It doesn't matter. They both work extremely well. As long as you have Cadet Uhura in the captain's chair, this works great. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, please place them in the comment section below. I'm going to continue making videos. I have my PayPal there if you want to contribute to the channel and make the channel better. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video. Please hit like and subscribe if you want to hear more. Thank you very much.